Hello everybody and welcome to Let's Play Baldur's Gate with me, Hell's Wake. Baldur's Gate is a classic isometric western style RPG, much in the same vein as Knights of the Old Republic, which is the only game in that genre that I really have any experience with. As far as the Baldur's Gate series goes, I have played the Dark Alliance games on GameCube and PS2 to death, but haven't played any other games in the series, so I thought we would go back to where it all began. And I think we're gonna have some fun with this game because I got into it, got about halfway through, and really enjoyed the experience thus far. So I decided, hey, let's record this, and we can actually take our characters at the end of this game and import them into Baldur's Gate 2. So I plan on doing that. Now, without further ado, let us start a new single-player game. We can pre-generate a character here if we want to save it for later, for other playthroughs or what have you. We're just going to go ahead and do new game. And over here is where we can import our pre-generated characters, and we can even create an entire custom party if we so desire, but I will not be doing that this playthrough. I'm just going to be using the characters that are in the game already. So let's create our character. I'm going to be a male. Male or female doesn't matter. I've got a custom portrait here that I'm going to use, which I rather like. And now race. Alright, so my plan for my character is to start off as a fighter class. And for that, I would normally go half orc, because they have such a great boost to strength and constitution. -2 intelligence. It doesn't matter if you're doing a pure fighter for that reason, but I'm not doing a pure fighter. I'm actually going to do a dual class, and for that reason I'm going to be a human. Now there are two ways of combo classing in this game. You got dual class and multi-class. Multi-class, you are a hybrid where you have both classes, or even 3 classes, that all level up at the same time, and you have all of their abilities, but you level up slower because your experience is split between them. For dual classing, you start off as one class, and then later on in your character's life, you can decide to go into a new class, and then when you level that class up enough, then you get the best of both of those classes, but you can never add any more experience back onto your first class. It's a little complicated, but we'll be getting into that much later. So for now, I'm pretty much just going to be a pure fighter. So if I wanted to do a multi-class, I would probably pick elf or half-elf. Any of these other ones can do multi-classes from what I remember. Yeah, see, like all these down here are multi-classes. Fighter mage, fighter cleric, fighter thief, fighter mage thief, cleric mage, fighter mage cleric. Pretty cool stuff. But I'm gonna be a human. Humans may not multi-class. Instead, they are the only race that can dual class. So let's, these are all the classes that humans can be. When you pick one, I'm gonna pick fighter here, then we get class kits, which give us extra abilities, trade-offs with disadvantages. Like, Kensei, for instance, doesn't wear armor, he can't wear gauntlets or bracers or even use bows, but he has a Kai ability, and he gets bonuses to his armor and his hit and his damage and his speed factor and all of that, which kind of makes him more specialized, I guess. I'm going to be going with a berserker class because they have the rage ability, which makes me immune to charm, fear, sleep, stun, all this other stuff, and it also gives me a buff, temporary HP bonus to hit and damage. And the only disadvantages the berserker has is an alignment restriction, which is not really much of anything, and I can't use bows, and there's also a debuff after rage wears down, but it's only temporary. So I thought berserker would be a pretty good choice. With regular multi-classing, you don't get access to any of these class kit abilities like berserkers and kenseis and whatnot. You only get the basic fighter combined with the basic mage, no specialized classes. But for dual class, you can start as a specialized class, which is one reason why you would want to do that. Alright, now moving on to alignment. During my playthrough of this game, I plan on picking up characters of all alignments, good and evil, to have in my party, so I figured the best way to hold all of those characters together is to have a party leader who is true neutral. So, abilities. Yes. These are my stats. The highest these can go is 18. And I can get higher rolls by just doing this. This goes all the way up to 99, I think, but the highest I've ever seen personally is a 94, which is 18 in everything and like 4 in wisdom, which is perfect for what I want, because in order to dual class into a mage from a fighter, or from anything really, you need their primary stat of the class you want to dual class into to be at least 15, I believe it is, but I'm going to be shooting for 18. So I would be sitting here for a long time normally doing this, and you could store and just like recall so that you can save your highest roll, but I've already actually done this, and because I'm looking for a 93 primarily to be able to have pretty much maxed out stats on this guy, so he can be a beast of a fighter and a mage. So I've already rolled and pre-generated that character and saved him. So let me just say that when you're a fighter class, when you max out your strength to 18, you get this slash number. This is just a decimal point, in this case 18.01 strength, and this is only for fighters. This goes all the way up to 18/00, which would mean 18 over 100, 18.100, or practically just 19 strength. So I would really want to be looking for a higher number here, but it's not really that big of a deal, I think. So moving on to proficiencies, in order to use weapons in this game effectively, you need to be proficient in them, otherwise you get penalties to your hit rolls. For my character, I'm going to be going with long swords, because long swords are plentiful in both of the Baldur's Gate games, and I want to be able to use 2 of them. I want to dual wield here, 2-weapon style. So this proficiency will allow me to have basically a better hit chance with my offhand weapon and main hand weapon. Otherwise, when you're dual wielding, you get -4 and a -8 penalty, which is really, really bad. So you really need this if you want to do dual wielding, which I do. So we're doing that. And appearance, I've already picked out all of this, because I'm just going to import my character file now so I can get the stats that I need. This is my guy. So I rolled a 94 with this guy. It took me a long time, trust me. And his strength turned out to be 18 over 01, which is terrible. But it doesn't matter because he's got 18 in everything, except wisdom, which is only needed by healer classes and rangers, from what I remember. And this is my appearance setup. This major color right here, which is the color of your clothes, is also the same color as your character's name in the chat. Just something to keep in mind. And now we get to pick the character's voice. I like to go with the default voice.
Onward! I feel this is my rightful place. I will require rest. I should be more productive with my time.
Though I'm almost certain that because of the enhanced edition, the actual in-game voice is different, because they redid those, I think. But nonetheless, default is the selection that I prefer. And I'm just going to name my guy Wake, because that's me. And finally, before we begin the game, get to pick difficulty. I'm going to go with core rules, because this is more in line with what the actual AD&D mechanics are. Enemies deal full damage. That's the main point. I feel like that's going to give me the best experience. So we're going to do core rules and venture forth. We're going to look at some opening cutscenes in the prologue, and then I'll see you on the other side.
Nestled atop the cliffs that rise from the Sword Coast, the citadel of Candlekeep houses the finest and most comprehensive collection of writings on the face of Farron. It is an imposing fortress, kept in strict isolation from the intrigues that occasionally plague the rest of the Forgotten Realms. It is secluded, highly regimented, and it is home. Within these hallowed halls of knowledge, your story begins. You have spent most of your 20 years of life within this keep's austere walls, under the tutelage of the sage Gorion. Acting as your father, he has raised you on 1,000 tales of heroes and monsters, lovers and infidels, battles and tragedies. However, one story was always left untold, that of your true heritage. You have been told that you are an orphan, but your past is largely unknown. Lately, Gorion has been growing distant from you, as if some grave matter weighs heavily on his heart. You have asked about his concerns as gently as possible, but your queries have been in vain. Your sole comfort is the knowledge that he is a wise man, and you know he will tell you when the time is right. Nonetheless, his silence is troubling, and you cannot help but feel that something is terribly wrong. Today, Gorion has appeared more agitated than ever, and now he has uncharacteristically interrupted your chores in the middle of the day, imparting hurried instructions for you to equip yourself for travel. He has handed you what gold he can spare, but given no clue as to why. Nevertheless, you now stand before the Candlekeep Inn, ready to purchase what you need for an unplanned and unexpected journey.
All right, and now here we are inside Candlekeep. The journal says that we have to find my foster father Gorion, which he is located right over here in front of the entrance to Candlekeep. But there are several things that we can do around town to get some little bit of gold, a couple of items, and a little bit of experience for my main character here. Whoops, don't need the world map yet. All right, so first let's go inside the inn.
It will be done.
And the first thing I'm going to do is walk in here and use my staff to force open this locked dresser to pick up a couple of scrolls. Armor scroll's pretty good. The other one is infravision, which I'm just going to sell for gold. And I'm going to talk to this guy.
Decent folk
Firebead Elven Hair. He wants us to get a scroll from some guy in the inner grounds. Tethtoril. We'll be getting that from him later.
My hotel's as clean as an elven art.
And this is Winthrop, the innkeeper, and the... Well, I guess he also has stuff to sell, which is mainly what we're here for. I'm going to buy a long sword, which I don't really need to do because I can just get a free sword right after we leave Candlekeep anyway. But weapons have a chance of breaking at the beginning part of this game, so it's nice to have extra. And that's a nice thing about picking long swords. Those are cheap and very common. I'm going to buy a stack of bolts because this is going to be needed for a quest in a minute. I'm not going to buy any armor because it's rather expensive. Chain or plate, which is what I would want. It's pretty much all of my gold. However, I am going to get a large shield just for good measure. A little bit of extra armor class there, and a helmet because it's so cheap and it prevents critical hits. Might as well get one. And we're going to equip those. I'll keep my staff over here just in case my sword breaks and I need something on backup. Better than fists, even though I'm not proficient in it. So the large shield gives me +1 armor class and extra +1 versus missile attacks, and that's pretty nice. Because ranged attackers can be quite troublesome. And they're pretty plentiful. So I think that's everything we need in here. There's actually a chest upstairs that has a gem in it that's worth a lot of money, but the only way that you're going to be able to open it is if you make a thief character and max out your lockpicking to around, I believe around 60 last time I checked. I don't know. Something around there. So I'm going to walk around counterclockwise because this is the best way to do it in order. These green fellows are tutors. You can talk to them and they will teach you about all the mechanics of this game. How to learn spells, how to attack, how to use your special abilities like guard or your powers like berserk.
It will be done.
Things like that.
I should have joined the army.
I did do that my first time, and it was helpful because there is quite a lot to look at here on this menu. All these buttons and Lots of numbers, and then there's the old AD&D mechanics on our character screen. So much stuff. Before I get any farther, let me go to my customize here. Actually, go to script, and I'm going to change to standard attack. Because I'm a fighter, and I don't want him to be using Berserk. Or, I guess it's called Enrage, without my say-so, which he would do by default, and that can be rather annoying. Especially since you can get knocked down and fall unconscious if it wears out in an untimely manner. There's a guy in here.
I have a blade with your name on it.
He's got a blade with my name on it. He wants to know if I am Gorion's little whelp. He's a kind of a dick, so I'm not going to be straight up with him. And he's going to try to kill me. And I got him the first hit. Pretty sweet.
Not a problem.
These guys are really easy. They usually die in one hit no matter what class you are. Depending on what weapon you're using anyway. But it's really not necessary to do that. They don't have anything to drop. I just, you know, whatever. 20 experience.
Something on your mind?
This guy talked to me because of that whole encounter. Doesn't matter how you respond, really. This guy's gonna talk to... Oh, this guy.
Are very strict.
Yes, Gate 1 or whatever. He wants me to go in the building and do some training, but it's really pointless. It's not, you don't get anything from doing it, and it just wastes time. Where's that entrance? Right, oh, here we go.
It will be done.
So in here, talk to this guy.
Contain the world's knowledge.
And he gave me a free potion of healing, and that's very nice. Especially at this point in the game. I'm gonna put that on my hotbar. Oh, I also picked up this antidote and longsword from the garrison in that chest. I don't think I mentioned that. Now, I really want to try to open this. But every time I've ever done so, it's locked. Every time I've ever done so, I've gotten caught, and they take all my gold. There's only one potion inside, so whatever, I'm not gonna bother with it. But if you can
It will be done.
manage to do that without being seen, you can get a free potion. I just can't quick save right now, so I don't want to do everything over, and I don't want to lose my 100 gold, even though it's really not much. Okay, so that's the guy whose sword that I had. Return that to him real quick. And we're almost done with the quests here. I'll walk over here to this building, and then there's a guy who wants us to go inside and kill some rats. I think he's a dwarf.
Moradin's hammer.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a dwarf. So I'll just let myself auto-attack and kill these rats. Now by default, you probably won't see... Oh, look at that. My weapon just broke already. Fucking already. Wow, game, really?
Not a problem.
That's awesome. Alright, I think that's all of them. And there's a barrel over here with a ring that's worth like 5 gold. Whatever, I'll pick it up.
With ease.
Hello. And he gives me 5 more gold. But it's the 50 experience that I want. Honestly. It's gonna take me 2,000 total to get to the next level. I can only get like 300 or 400 by doing all of the quests around here, but it's a nice little starting boost. Since you start at level 1 and this is D&D basically, you're really damn weak at the beginning of the game, especially by yourself or in only like a group of 2 or 3. Talk to this guy 3 times, get that potion turned into him for another 50 experience. Pick up this book in the haystack. And there's another guy in here that wants to kill us. Let's say hi.
Hello.
Hello. Leave me be.
Crust your face, I will.
Oh, you gotta crush my face, eh, Shank?
And done.
With ease. Not a problem.
Here we go, another encounter with this guy named Parda. It's nothing. I don't like to be a whiner, you know. I'm getting murder attempts on my life here, but I don't care. I'll hold it together. It's all good.
Hello there.
I see what Gorion means about it being dangerous and we must leave. There we go. Talked to her twice, turned in that book, and I got 50 experience and a gem, which is also not really worth much. it's kind of useless to hold on to that at this point. Let's just leave. I'll get a sword as soon as I get to the other side, so it's whatever.
Young one.
Why am I still have combat music going on? It's weird. So he gave me a Scroll of Identify, which I'm supposed to turn into Firebeard, but I'm actually going to hang on to that because Identify is a nice spell. Although I don't know if I'm actually going to have a character that can use that right away.
Hey, it's me, Imoen.
Oh, hello, Imoen. This is really weird with the battle music. I'm just going to ignore that. So, Imoen says, I'm surprised that stuffy-old Gorion let you away from your studies and chores, that old fiddle-faddle. I snuck off too. Old Puffguts Winthrop was looking for me, but I've got all day to do his chores. You have a time for a story today? No, I can tell you don't. What have you been up to? Leave me be. I don't have time to waste. No need to get all rude. We're friends, so you can just have to say butt out and I will, alright? I can take a hint. As quick as I can take a wallet. In fact, yeah, she's a thief. You go on and maybe I'll see you later. Yeah, maybe. My, this is weird. I don't think I can save right now either. Can I? Oh, I can. There. That was kind of annoying. I've never had that happen before.
Not a problem.
And I can see a little texture error right there. Hi, Grind.
Oh, my child, I am glad I have found you.
This is very unnerving, I know, but you must trust me. It is very important that you pack your possessions so that we may leave Candlekeep immediately. Hurry, for there is no time to tarry. The keep is well protected, but not invulnerable. Yeah, I see that. I've already been attacked twice, so, But where are we going, anyway? Alas, I cannot tell you where we're going, for I have not truly decided yet. All that is certain is that we will be far safer on the move. Perhaps the woods might offer some secluded security, or perhaps the city of Baldur's Gate would offer cover amongst its teeming throngs of people. I do not know where we shall end up, but I have a few friends here and there. I will think on this. Alright, if you don't know, but it's important that we have to leave, I guess I'm ready. Let's go. And now we're gonna get some scenes.
Listen carefully. If we ever become separated, it is imperative that you make your way to the Friendly Arm Inn. There you will meet Khalid and Jahira. They have long been my friends, and you can trust them. Let's hurry, child. The night can only get worse, so we must find shelter soon. Don't worry. I will explain everything as soon as there is time. Wait, there is something wrong. We are in an ambush. Prepare yourself.
You're perceptive for an old man. You know why I'm here. Hand over your ward and no one will be hurt. If you resist, it shall be a waste of your life.
You're a fool if you believe I would trust your benevolence. Step aside and you and your lackeys will be unhurt.
I am sorry that you feel that way, old man.
Run, child. Get out of here.
Brian, no! I'm running.
Especially cruel this morning. You awake with the realization that you have not been living some horrible dream. Ambushed, you saw Gorion cut down before your eyes, and even his powerful magic could not stop the onslaught. It was his wish that you flee, but that does not remove the feeling of helplessness that now overwhelms you. Hand over your ward, the armored fiend had said. He was after you and you alone, but why? If only Gorion had given some clue. But now you are alone and lost. Candlekeep is near, but you will find no quarter there. The readers pay for their serenity with rather draconian entry rules, and without Gorion's influence, their doors will remain closed. You will not last long on your own with your meager equipment. Perhaps you can get some help from the friends Gorion mentioned, the ones at the Friendly Arm.